Heritage Award, I request Dr. Father C.P. Anto to do the honor. And for the Heritage Award, I request Dr. Father C.P. For the Nature Stone, I request Father Kim, Nature Vice Principal, to do the honor. And for the Peace page, I request Miss Atela Teresa, Project Coordinator, Peace Channel, to do the honor.
He has blessed us and brought us together. When a saint and a Mahatma are smiling down on you, you are put at ease. There is a great deal of positivity and energy being emanated with the presence of these two great souls that humankind has encountered. So we are all put to ease, happy about the evening. It is most appropriate that nature, in fact, nature couldn't have found a more apt special guest for this National Youth Convention than the maverick himself, the person who has broken and shattered all stereotypes, who has been a youth icon and a role model for the youth, not only the youth, but also people like me. I keep following him in the social media, be it Twitter, Facebook, or any other social media platform. I pay my respects to the Honorable Minister for Tourism and Higher Education, Mr. Temjen Imna Along, for his graciousness, and I feel much delighted to have received this prestigious award through his gracious hands. I pay my respects to the citizens, officials of the Citizens Forum of Temjen Imna Along and Marangkong, the Samso Tulongjam representatives. The award is not just mine. This award that I have received now has been made possible because of the constant nurturing and the mentoring that my own people in my own villages, in fact I belong to two villages, I belong to Temjen Imna Along and Marangkong, and I boast about it, and I give thanks to them for accompanying me and joining me in this momentous occasion and in celebrating the reception of this award. I also pay my respects to Father Anto and his colleagues of Nature and Peace Channel, other senior officials from St. Xavier and other associated organizations who have come here this evening to be in our midst and for gracing this occasion. This award presentation ceremony has been made more glamorous because of your gracious presence. Above all, I pay my greetings to the students from Nagaland and the delegates from all over the country who have come here to attend the National Conference, the Youth Convention. I am an admirer of Gandhi, and whatever little I have read about him speaks volumes about how spiritual he was. Now here we have to draw a line between religiosity and spirituality. He was a highly spiritual person who respected all religions in equal measure. He had intensely read the scriptures of all religions and drew good things from each of them. What nature is doing today, and the Peace Channel in general, in fact, was what Mahatma Gandhi had taught all of us to follow. And Mahatma Gandhi's greatest inspiration came from reading the Bible. And the basic foundation of his social work and humanitarian work and the volunteerism came from reading the scripture and the teachings of Jesus Christ. He very often quoted from the Sermon on the Mount, and there is a very often quoted verse from the chapter of Matthew, which we very often recited, and I quote, "Inasmuch as you have done it to the least of my brethren, you have done it to me." This is Matthew chapter 25 and verse 40. Service to men and service to God is what is the motto. Nature aspires to introduce that. We have seen across history of mankind great reformers, great social activists, great social workers, great charitable workers in the person of Leo Tolstoy, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, you name it. If we look at them, there are two kinds of motivations that have come into them in making what they were. One is the kind of atrocities that they have experienced in their early life. The other is extensive research on human behaviors and human activities and the surroundings. In present-day context, if volunteerism is to be implemented, or social activism, or social work, or charitable work, all comes under a bigger umbrella of doing positive affirmations. Though there are specializations. So in the olden days, when professional social work education was not structured, people have to research by themselves and come up with their own ideas of implementation of doing good for the fellow beings. In a present-day context, it is very essential to undergo studies on professional social work. Then only your initiatives or your interventions can make a structured impact, and the scale and the depth and the expanse of your intervention becomes wider, richer, deeper, and bigger. My father established Nagaland Gandhi Ashram at Temjen Imna Along in the year 1955. His motto, two main objectives, was to promote emotional and national integration through voluntary services by adopting Gandhian teachings. And in his later life, after working for decades, he realized that if you are to do good and this positive affirmative work, you need professional social workers, and therefore he had also initiated implementation of an education, an Institute of Higher Studies imparting Master of Social Work in two phases. Presently, it is put on hold, but we still want to reactivate it and carry forward with this activity. And the purpose of this was to ensure that I fully agree, 101% agree with what the speech delivered by our Honorable Minister in the sense that unless there is economic empowerment, there can't be political empowerment. Economic independence leads to political independence. And therefore the richness of Nagaland lies in the rural areas, not in the urban areas. The great deal of massive scale of migration from the rural to the urban areas are destroying the economy and the standard of living of the Nagas.
Our illustrious, honorable chief guest for this function, Sri Temjen Imna Along, Honorable Minister of Tourism and Higher Education. Sir, I am so happy to greet you and meet you for the first time. And this is really a miracle that we are here together to exchange our peace. Dear Reverend Father Dr. Aotoshi, the Principal and Director of this illustrious college, Reverend Brother Simon, the President of East and Northeast Region, Dr. Sister Teresa, the General Secretary of the Xavier Board, Auditor, the Secretary of Northeast Region, dear Reverend Father Francis, the Principal, dear Reverend Fathers, dear Reverend Sisters, dear Professors, dear student friends, good evening to each and every one of you. Very happy to be here as President of Xavier Board. Xavier Board is an association of more than 300 like member colleges. And under this banner, we have more than 552 higher educational institutions across India.
Being able to be present here at NISA and Chumoukedima, and I'm glad that I could be here. Our most respected Father Anto, the curator of NISA here in Nagaland, all the eminent fathers and also eminent leaders, and also Dr Aotoshi, and the council members and leaders of the community. I see a lot of our leaders here, and also the council of leaders that are here. My dear teachers, students, press and media fraternity, and my dear friends. It is quite rare that people speak about peace. It is quite rare, especially in Nagaland, to speak about peace. I hope no recording will go to the media today. Otherwise, tomorrow there will be violence. But I love to speak what is in my heart and what is fact. Whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, facts are facts. And in a state like Nagaland and in the Northeast, to have such an eminent institution on peace and promoting the society in building the human resource for tomorrow's citizens of the world is quite rare. That also led by such a vision to see an inception and to see it grow and to do it in the right way. I would like to appreciate and really thank especially the Catholic Church. It's not praising, it is fact. The Catholic Church has been at the forefront in this nation and in the nations of the world for bringing about transformation and building the human resource that is the young minds, women and men, to be the right leaders for tomorrow. as time changes and evolves into new ventures every decade and every year and every time. The Catholic Church and its institutions have never been behind to contextualize and to be cohesive and be inclusive among the communities of the nation in building such transformation being established like today here at this circle. I've come to know that there are 90% Nagas and 10% non-Nagas from the rest of the Northeast. So for the people who are from the rest of the Northeast, welcome to Nagaland, and thank you for being here. I would like to say these facts. I'll take a little bit more time, not much. To establish peace, I've heard that Dr. Aotoshi is going to be awarded